So, my dear brothers and sisters, Reverend sisters, especially Sister Maria Lau and Mrs. Vivian, and all of you, my dear young people, we are very happy to gather here this morning to celebrate the 165th anniversary of the foundation of CHIJ in Singapore. And so we are full of gratitude and joy for the contribution, for the education that IJ sisters have given to so many generations of people in this country. And now they are contributing usefully for the service of the nation and the church and society. My dear friends, as we gather here this morning, it is important for us to ask ourselves, what are we here for? The theme that you have chosen for this celebration is ever seeking and ever serving. This is truly a very beautiful theme because to seek and to serve, they are two dimensions of the same reality. If we seek without serving, we will end up serving ourselves. There are many people who are seeking for power, for positions in life, for honor, for glory, for money, but it's all for themselves. Ultimately, they cannot find true happiness in life. That is why the fruit of seeking is always serving. When a person seeks, he seeks so that he can serve, he can be of contribution to church, society, and humanity. But the question is this: does serving come first or seeking come first? Seeking and serving are mutually dependent on each other. In order to serve, we must first seek. We must have the resources. We must have the means to serve. That is why seeking is primary. On the other hand, if we do not know what we are serving and who we are serving, you do not know what you should be seeking. In other words, if you want to build a house, what do? First, you must get the architect to draw the house. That is the vision you have. And from there, you start to build and construct the building. If you don't do that, along the way, you need to modify the building, and that will incur extra cost. And so, the key is to start from the end. And from the end, we begin. And so what is the end? What is the end of the IJ mission? The end of the IJ mission is simply this: to share in the dream of the founder of IJ Sisters, Blessed Nicholas. And what was his dream? It's very important for us because if we are in IJ, we are called to live on and to make the dream of your founder a reality in our midst. Do you know the dream of your founder? I hope so. If not, we need to give them a special lesson on this. The vision of Blessed Nicholas was to help all the poor girls, especially those in poverty, to help them to become independent, to become people who can contribute later on to society. And Blessed Nicholas, he knew the key to this work that he was called to do. He realized that the fundamental reason why young girls were not able to contribute to society was because they lack spiritual formation and human formation. And that's the reason why his philosophy was to instruct and to educate the young girls. And this mission continues with the IJ, and they continue to live out this vision of Blessed Nicola throughout these 165 years of history and more. The very fact that one of the most important missions of the IJ sisters is to provide education for those who are disadvantaged, for those who are deprived of opportunities. The great thing about the IJ mission is that they realize that they are called to serve the marginalized. The great thing about IJ school is not because we produce elite students. On the contrary, the great thing about IJ schools is that those young people who have no opportunities have been given that opportunity to grow and to succeed in life. In fact, that is the hallmark of Catholic education. Catholic education is not to make the rich richer. Catholic education is to help, first and foremost, those who are poor in studies, those who are disadvantaged in various ways. And then when we transform them into leaders of tomorrow, that is something for us to boast about. There is something for us to be proud of. And this is what the IJ sisters have done. You remember very clearly that at the very beginning of the IJ mission, in Victoria Street, the first students were orphans. The first students were poor students. They were given free education. And that's the reason why today, many of you, we have many alumni students here, because they have benefited from the spiritual, the human, intellectual formation given to them. Today, they have become leaders of society. And so, my dear brothers and sisters, as we gather here this morning, it is important for us to keep on dreaming the vision and the mission that Blessed Nicola has given to us. And how can this be done? How can this be done? Only when we subscribe to the 4 core values that IJ schools are asked to live out. What is it that you are supposed to seek in order to be of real service? You are supposed to seek, what is the first thing? Seek truth. If you do not know the truth, truth is more than just intellectual knowledge, technological skills. Truth means to know about ourselves, to know about our identity, our direction in life. What are you living for? What are you here for? That is the most important question we need to ask ourselves. If we know the purpose of life, then we can live our life meaningfully. That is why you are called to seek truth. But truth is not sufficient. We need to seek love, because the whole meaning of life, at the end of the day, no matter how successful you are, how great you are, how many achievements you have made, a man, a woman without love has no meaning in life. That is why today in the gospel, Jesus said, love one another as I have loved you. It is only when we begin to love, begin to serve, that we find meaning. That is why the third value that you are called to seek: truth, love, and justice. Why justice? Because justice means not my own rights. That's the whole problem with the world today. People are saying about my rights. That is not justice. Justice is about the rights of everyone. That every human person created in the image and likeness of God has this opportunity in life to live and to give his or herself for the contribution of humanity. That is justice. So justice means right relations. And finally, freedom. Today you notice freedom is abused. Freedom today is about oneself, about my pleasure, about what I want to do, what I like to do. True freedom is not a freedom for self. True freedom is the capacity to love, to serve freely. Freedom is always for the service of others and not for ourselves. So, my dear brothers and sisters, my dear young girls, and mostly those of you who are here, the future of the nation, the future of our country is dependent on you. And so we pray that you will continue to live this CHIJ spirit and truly be faithful to your motto, which is simple in virtue, steadfast in, you know how to say, but you do understand or not? To be simple in virtue means that first, in order to be responsible, you need to be true to yourself. You need to grow in virtue, in fortitude, in wisdom, in truth, in understanding, in love. Simple in virtue, so that you can be steadfast in duty, giving yourself wholeheartedly to strengthen, to form yourself in such a way that you'll be responsible in your vocation in life. This is our prayer for you, and we continue to praise and thank God, especially for the sisters and all the teachers as well, and all the alumni, students who are here, for continuing to help those who are still in education to grow and to become more and more the glory of Christ in them, as what we have read in today's first reading. Amen.